Hello friends. Today we are going to work on the work cited. So we are so close to being done with our essay. Fantastic work everybody who's been staying up to date. If not, make sure you catch up as soon as possible. So again, we are working with our works cited page today. Something that you will need to do is collect all of the sources you have used throughout your entire essay. The good thing is there were only 3 articles to look at, right? So realistically, this should not be that difficult if you stuck with the articles that your teacher provided to you. You also have a very handy tool like this one that tells you all of the articles, right? So it tells you here's article 1, here was the title, here is the citation you should be using in your evidence sentences, and then here's the web address that's going to help you make your work cited. We're going to get into how to use EasyBib in just a second. Article 2 is a little lengthier, right, because it was filled with excerpts from different authors and different articles. So again, depending on which excerpt you used, just go back into your essay article assignments and look and see if you used excerpt 1, you know it's Davis and it's this link. If you use excerpt 4, you know it was written by Beer and it's this link, right? So just make sure that you're looking at the specifics. And article 3 is a little bit more simple because it's all the same article from New York Times and from the same 3 authors, okay? So you're gonna wanna make sure you have this up as you're doing your works cited. It's going to be very helpful. Also, you need to make sure you're reviewing the format for what a works cited entry should look like. So when we go back to our essay formatting guide, we can see down here that this is what we should be using, this right here. Number 1, it should be the author's last name, comma, the author's first name. If there is not an author, you take this part out and you just start with the title of the article in quotes. The awesome thing for you is this tells you all of it, right? So you know for number 1, you would put Noble, comma, Brianna, because that's her first name. You would put this title of the article in quotes right after that. And then you would fill in the rest of the information by going to this website to make sure all of that is there. The awesome thing for you is that easybib.com will do it for you, but it's good to know what the actual format looks like, right? So after our article title, we have title of the website in the italics. We have the publisher name if it's there, sometimes it's not. We have the date that it was published, very important, and the date that you accessed it or the date that you read it. So probably sometime last week since that's when we read the articles in class. Again, it's good to know what it looks like. Sometimes EasyBib will miss certain information and you want to make sure that it's done correctly. So even when EasyBib provides you with one, don't just copy and paste it blindly into your works cited down at the bottom, right? Make sure that it's done correctly, all that sort of stuff. And here are some samples at the bottom that tell you. Here's the exact sample for Brianna Noble. So congratulations. My gift to you, if you used Article 1's quotes at all, you can take this and copy and paste it. We're going to get into how the formatting of this should look in just a moment too, because you will notice that the first line's not indented and every line after is. So again, that's how we're going to do it. You should be using EasyBib. I will show you how to do that in just a second. It'll make this process so quick and so easy. Then you'll literally be able to copy and paste the link and any necessary information right into EasyBib. It comes up with the citation that it gives you, okay? So as far as how your works cited page should be formatted and some tips, this is how it should look, right? A kind of smaller version of what we looked at over here should look something like this. It'll have different articles, different sources, right, that are kind of separated in this way. You can tell when you've gotten to a new one because you see that it's not indented anymore. So we know that these are 2 separate entries or 2 different sources where you got your information from. One other thing you will notice is that this is in alphabetical order, right? M comes before N. This is always in alphabetical order. Make sure that whatever the first word is, it's in alphabetical order. So all the A's at the top, all the Z's at the bottom, we know how to do alphabetical order. Something else we want to make sure of is that it matches whatever our in-text citations are. So getting into our in-text citations a little bit, we'll go to our sample essay. You know that when you write an evidence sentence, you have a citation at the very end, right? That tells us who this came from. Where did this quote come from? Because it's not from you, right? So in our sample essay, we see this person uses a quote, right? And then they have a citation right here. Your citation in your actual essay at the end of your evidence sentences is always the author's name, the author's last name specifically. Boyle is this person's last name, not his first name, okay? So we see this is the last name. If, for example, again, we see Rich Wine right here, a last name of the author. Let's say you are looking everywhere and you cannot find a last name for the author. That's okay. There might not be an author associated with it. So you would literally type in the title of the article instead. And how do you know the title? You can go right to our nifty chart right here and you can see. Here's what it is. Another kind of cheat sheet for you is anything you use from Article 1, this is your in-text citation. Anything you use from Excerpt 1, in-text citation. Excerpt 7, in-text citation. Okay? This should be whatever is in your ESs after your quotes. So again, make sure you are using this guide right here because it's going to tell you, hey, here's what you put at the end. Remember, you always do parentheses and then you will put your period right afterwards. Okay? You always put your punctuation after. There is no excuse to not get the in-text citation right. So after every single quote, after every single evidence sentence, anytime you see those quote marks and it's ending a quote, you have an in-text citation and it comes directly from here. This tells you, hey, here's the author's name. Oh, there wasn't an author here? Here's the title, right? So we know that this is how we will do it. Make sure, what I mean by matching up is if you have in your essay Boyle right here, and then you do not mention Boyle in your works cited, you are in trouble, right? Because you told me this person named Boyle wrote this, but you're not giving me any other information. You're not telling me his first name, you're not telling me the article, you're not telling me the link or anything like that, right? So make sure every time you put something in the in-text citation, it matches down here, okay? So this essay uses 3. This essay, we see Rich Wine, we see top 10 pro and cons, and we see Boyle up here. So those 3 names better be in our final works cited product. And yes, they are. This one is done correctly. It is done in alphabetical order. We see that the second, third lines are indented. So each time that you go through, you are going to copy and paste it, have this line stay out on the side, have these lines stay indented. And that's going to be how we go about that. We already talked about checking after using EasyBib to make sure it's correct, putting it in alphabetical order. Again, if there's no author's name, you are going to begin with the article title, okay? So the article title you'll start with, it has to be indented after that first line. And again, just as a reminder, works cited page has to be its own page. It cannot be up here, right? That is incorrect. It needs to be its own page of the essay. So I'm going to show you how to use EasyBib very quickly. I would definitely use this citation guide. Let's say, okay, I want to make sure that I am getting this essay correct, right? We are going to type in, I typed in EasyBib wrong, but my computer knew it anyways. We're going to go to EasyBib. We are going to go to Create Citations. We're going to go to website. Everything you're going to click on is going to be a website because we didn't get it from a book or anything like that. And then we are going to cite the website by entering its URL. So we are going to copy and paste it right there. We are going to search. We're going to wait while it comes up. We are going to see, yep, this is the one. That's her last name. This is the title. Perfect. We're going to hit cite. We are going to see it found a title, it found a URL, it found the website that it came from, it found the date, it found the date it was published, okay? The problem is it did not find a publisher or sponsor. So that, folks, is when it is up to you to go in to the actual website and see, can I find a publisher? I will tell you right now, the publisher is not there for this one. EasyBib did this correctly, but you're always going to want to check just to make sure it's accurate because websites can be wrong too, right? So we are going to see, yep, her name's in here, the website's here, the URL's here, great, perfect. It was published this day in 2015. We're going to complete our citation and it's pretty much ready to go right here. We are going to hit copy citation. We're not going to use the grammar or anything like that. Sometimes it will make you watch an ad to get it, so I apologize for that, folks. But then you will see when you're doing your Works Cited page, you go in, you copy it right there, and then you make sure that these lines, these lines down here are in fact indented, okay? And that is going to be how we go about doing our in-text citations and all that kind of stuff. We're going to make sure it's in alphabetical order. We're going to make sure it looks just like this, or like in our sample essay. These are all great examples, and all that sort of stuff. Again, last minute tips. Remember, anytime you have an author's name or an article title as your ES citation, you are going to also include it down here. And the names should match up, the article titles should match up, okay? Please, please, please use this. This is going to be your best friend as you are going through and you are seeing, here are the article numbers, here are the article titles, here's the citation for the ES. No excuse not to get that citation correctly. If you were to use Article 3 and you put something besides this, that is on you, right? When you lose those points, because it was right here for you. It told you, hey, this is the citation to use at the end of your evidence sentence. And then here is the link that you would just plug right in to EasyBib. Again, you will go to EasyBib. You can go to create a new citation when you want to do a new one. Go to website, copy and paste it, all that kind of stuff to do that same exact process over again. Alrighty, folks, that is how it's going to be done. Go back, watch this video as many times as you need to do. What you should be doing today, format your essay if you haven't already. Remember, this formatting guide is going to be one of our good friends as well. You're going to use that blank doc that you have, right? Your whole essay should be here at this point. It should not just be a Works Cited page. You are going to tack on the Works Cited page at the very end today, though. So make sure if you have any questions, reach out to your teacher, reach out to Cave Tutors, all that sort of stuff. You are so close to being done with your essay at this point. You've just got to do some edits and you just got to turn it in. So great job, folks. Thank you for staying with us so far. Thanks for staying up to date and being on top of it. Remember, this essay is really, really important. Don't let any of the hard parts turn you away from it. It is important to pass 9th grade. So good luck, everyone, and we will talk later.